So good morning, everyone, and I think it's an honor and I think it's a privilege to be able to have all of us in here. First is to know that this is strictly an invite-only event. It's basically not designed for having everybody in. We have most of our people online. I want a big thank you to all the people who have logged on online. Quite a number of people logged in at 9 a.m. and have stayed. And it's just a big thank you to every one of them. Coming this morning, I'm doing a welcome address, and I'll run off just through a few slides. Of course, of particular importance to me is a keynote speaker. And why is it important that I celebrate Dr. Rab this morning? The fact that this is his first time in Africa, okay, and I think it deserves a round of applause. And if you listen to CNN and a couple of things, trust me, I'm not sure this is the most exciting time for an American, full-fledged American to be in Nigeria, okay? And it's coming because he believes in what we're doing, and he knows that things can actually happen in here. And we're really excited having you, and we hope we'll have a great session with him. I think we're going to order a bit after his 10 minutes, because we have quite a lot of young people and audience online. We could take 10 minutes to have question and answer, and people can talk to him about it. He's one of the best and most brilliant minds in marketing and technology globally, and I think it's a pleasure to have him here. And I have quite a number of my dignitaries, from my mentor, who taught me everything about marketing, Mizuko, to the special executive assistant to the governor on new media, is Mr. Rain, Mr. Fafore, special advisor, Mr. Special advisor to the government on innovation and technology. We've done quite a number of hackathons. It's championing the transformation in here, and I think it's good as in here. Have quite a number of our mentors in here. Mr. Lampe Omoyele, Bukola is around, Kaudi, Oladapo is also in. We also have Mr. Rotimi all the way from UK. He's one of the veterans of the agency. He's been in client side, he's run agencies, he's now teaching and mentoring young people and doing incubation acceleration, not in Lagos, but in UK and Europe. And I think it's good to have, it deserves a round of applause, I think. He'll also be speaking later today. We've sent him out there to get all the ideas and come fix it back home here. So for quite a number of people online, also feel free to drop in questions, charts directed at them. We'll make sure we keep them here long enough. We didn't plan for lunch, but we just might start thinking of lunch to be able to keep them long enough, and I can ask them a lot of questions. So Dr. Rotimi, he also flew into the country. Thank you for being here. It deserves a round of applause, and we do hope we're going to have a great session with you. And great marketing greats that we're having here today. Okay, it's from here, from Unilever, Wale Elishaki, Bukola, Biodu, Ajiborede, all my friends in-house, thank you so much for Chisom from PZ. Our media partners, thank you guys, and I'm sure we'll do a more elaborate introduction, but I just felt it was only proper that I recognize as many as I could recognize this morning. And so why MarkHack? And I think from when we had this initiative and started thinking about it, everybody was like, why MarkHack? What are you thinking about? What's this about? What is the expected outcome? And I just want to use the next couple of slides, 5, 6, to tell you, to help frame. I mean, I'm not the subject matter expert. The marketing greats are seated around here, and innovation and tech greats who are still practicing. And I think when they take the stage, for everyone who's locked on and everyone who's here, you'll be able to understand why we all think this should be a great initiative to curate together, and it's about collaboration, okay? And so I start from the quote of a very brilliant mind, Charles Darwin, who says, in the long history of mankind, those who have learned to collaborate, and that I think is the bedrock of what this is about, those who have learned to collaborate have improvised most effectively and have prevailed. And I think with all the things that are going around the world, we need to see more collaborations happening. I think the borders of competition should begin and have begun to fade. And we see the industries where collaborations are happening more are the places where we're seeing massive transformation and we're seeing the changes, and we think it's a time for marketing. And so what were we trying to, what's the theme or what's the driving agenda? It's about co-creating the disruption we anticipate. You know, I still spoke to a few people, Nengi used to, we did some great things together. And I think she reminded me again that this has always been his dream. I think he started speaking about this like 4, 5, 6 years ago, how to bring tech in when we're together, when we work together as colleagues. And we believe that the disruption is going to come. I mean, we've seen it happen in the fintech sector. And these people are making and the ecosystem life a bit more difficult for the banks and the bank. So the lunch is moving the table, and like you said, the cheese is disappearing across many industries, from health sector to transport, but bigger in Nigeria is the fintech sector. And we think these disruptions are going to come. And I think it's better that we begin to co-create the future that we think, because ultimately, with technology and all that's happening globally, it will come. Should we rather sit and wait and hope that it never comes, bury ourselves in the sand, or be part of the process that leads to the co-creation? Okay? And Nigeria has had its experience of unprecedented disruption in the tech ecosystem, with multi-solutions being created. And I think the statistics tells us that. Okay, because yes, it's tech to hack marketing. And when you look at the numbers, in 2021 alone, a total of $4 billion was invested in the tech ecosystem, both local and international investors. And $4 billion is significant, and that's what we've seen just in 2021. Nigeria is ranked globally the 63rd and 5th in Africa as one of the countries, the most developed ecosystem. And I think it is good work to both policymakers, ecosystem players, collaborators, and tech entities about what has happened in the tech ecosystem. Okay? And of course, we have 144 tech startups that are recognized generally globally here. And the question is, can marketing really improve the economy? Because we don't think it should be on its own. Especially for the non-oil sector, we think there's huge opportunity to have marketing and have media and have that whole landscape help us be able to grow the non-oil sector of the economy, which is quite important to us. We begin to see a demise of the oil sector, GDP, and a couple of things. And with all the young people and their enthusiasm about technology and all the things that are happening, we think we can leapfrog. I was speaking to our keynote speaker that somehow I think Africa might have missed the train for the Industrial Revolution, but we can latch onto the tech innovation and get many of our young people, leapfrog the economy and get our young people employed and get them to do great things globally. And I think that's why this is important. And we believe marketing is an effective engine for economic development, marketing and media. So what's the big problem? Why are we having this conversation? The Nigerian marketing industry has seen preliminary innovation as it is. I mean, quite a lot has been done by organizations, agencies, area of data, putting a couple of things together. But we've seen innovation isolation to disrupt the future. It's been a bit slow. And of course, we think that in changing consumer behavior, accelerated by the COVID pandemic, we think a lot can happen more. And we're yet to experience the notoriety of homegrown technological breakthroughs. And when it comes to media, when it comes to consumerism and how the consumers behave, most of these actually can be local. And we think that it's time we begin to see a notoriety of those massive homegrown technological breakthroughs at scale in the marketing industry. But the number speaks for itself, and that's why we think we want to break our heads to get this done. So what are the numbers? MarkHack Alliance in 2021 estimates the global market industry at $344 billion in 2021. Let's not talk about the Nigerian stats because I'm not sure we have people really playing that sector really right now, okay? But the numbers are there. The two biggest drivers of marketing budget increase, cited by also this MarkHack study, as changing consumer behavior and the changing tech landscape. So as we see consumer behavior changing, the tech landscape is changing. And therefore we think that the way organizations spend and invest around what they do and how they engage the consumer is going to change with what we see around with technology. Spending on marketing now accounts for 23% of organizations' marketing spending budgets. And I think 23% is significant. According to the latest report, Nigeria with a 12.1 CAGR will be the world's fastest growing entertainment and media market over the coming 5 years. I'm sure when we say entertainment, many of us don't argue that. But it's not just entertainment. Entertainment and media will likely going to be accelerating. And that's what PricewaterhouseCoopers has said in 2021. Web 3.0. With extended reality, market is expected to register an average growth rate of 57.9% from 2002 to 2027. And these are the stats. And that's what this is about. How do we be part of the movement that's creating this change and make sure that we can help to co-create the disruption that we all anticipate? And that's what we're talking about, MarkHack 1.0, which is, of course, the guardians of the brilliant mind side here. Policymakers, okay? They're important. And we've seen that happen in the fintech space. It's good to start talking to policymakers early enough, and I think we have a couple of them in-house, okay, so that they understand where we're going. We've got a few regulatory people around here, so we think they should be in-house. We've got the innovators, many of them online. I'll show you the numbers of the people who are part of this, and it was mind-blowing, okay? Innovators, marketing professionals, quite a number of them sitting here. We have investors, impact investors, angel investors, all a part of this. And what we do expect them to use creativity and technology and mentoring to result in prototypes, fresh new concepts, and innovative use of tech for marketing and media. So this is a co-creation of an ecosystem where it's not just about the agencies or clients, but we think it's a co-creation by all of us. And when you see, we put on an array of all of us collaborating to make this happen, even though we have a few companies trying to help to to design the framework and set the agenda. It's really not about us. We think it's all the guys, quite a number of them online, who are part of this, that are helping to co-create this. So what are you supposed to expect? And of course, speaking to the whole community who are part of this and who want to be a part of this and who will help to midwife this process. So there's a walkathon that will kick off from this evening. And I'll tell you the numbers. We wanted to have the registrations open for about 3 weeks. We shut down in less than 3 weeks because we had over 500 registrations from 4 countries and we couldn't just cope anymore, okay? And we had to shut down the portal. And from tonight, we think the work will start, where the teams of 5, average of 5, will ideate and develop their ideas in 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, they turn in their ideas, and we're going to have pitch events based on the focus groups. And I'll take us through the process. And when they have these pitch events, remember we've got over 100 teams. We're picking just 10% of them. The best 10 ideas across the focus areas is what we expect. Now, what have I seen in my 3 years little stint in the tech industry is possible you develop a product that doesn't have a product market fit. So what you see at times is that there's a disconnect between the brilliant minds innovating and all that and what reality says. Okay, and you find that you could develop some things that are very exciting and have very little local application. And so what happens to these 10 finalists? We have the best of mentors and minds. I was trying to accumulate when I was putting this together the number of years of marketing experience we want to bring up to bear. And I was struggling when I started saying the numbers. It's thousands of years. Mizuko is over 30 years. Mr. Lanko Moyele is over 30 years in marketing. And all the minds put together. Dr. Rab is also done about going to 40 years, 4 decades. When we put all those minds together, they're part of this Dr. Rotimi. We have going to about 3,000 years of marketing experience that's coming together to curate this. So the mentors, which we've seen quite a number of them, some of them are seated in here, will help these 10 finalists in different sectors ensure they have the product market fit and that what they're producing and what they're developing has relevance to the market and applicability in the marketplace. Okay? And that's where the coaching starts. That's where the hand-holding and the mentorship. And of course, May 18th, and that's going to happen for 2 weeks, where virtually we've got a few mentors seated in Europe and all that, who also help them with context and all that. And when they're through with this 2 weeks process, helping them have the fit, they come to pitch the last 10 finalists to our final jurors. Of course, the best minds across agencies, across marketing practice, and they will be helping us select the finalists. And of course, what's in it for the 10 that will be selected out of the over 100 teams? There's prize money, which half of that goes to the final winner. And of course, a few will also go to the others that are going to be part of the finalists. Beyond that, we've got Ingressive Capital, a couple of investment ecosystem partners, a few of them also signified interest, which will be seated in the finals. And everybody's beginning to see beyond fintech. There are other places where we can do some kind of investment. So that's going to happen. And Eco Innovation Center is going to be investing with a fund, his own capital, another $60,000 in equity investment in these finalists to ensure that we accelerate them and we make them companies and organizations that are viable. Okay? And we expect that more of our partners will begin to, in the next 6 weeks, signify interest to help invest. Of course, we have Experiential NG, which is one of the initiatives of one of our keynote speakers, Dr. Rotimi, also giving $1,000 to the company with the best pitch deck, even if they are not one of the top finalists. And I think they deserve a round of applause. So he has shared that to say it is $1,000. If you have the best pitch deck, with marketing, the pitch deck is also very important. So he's giving $1,000 to the organization that has the best pitch deck. And of course, we need to start watching out for that with our pre-selection jurors and everyone. And so I think this process is important for those who are in the room and of course, much more our audience online. So what's the reach? And it's good we frame this so that everyone understands the enormity of what we have to do. 500 participants over were registered for this in 2.5 weeks. 72 locations. Almost every part of this country is hungry to innovate in marketing, commercial, and media. But not only in this country do we have, people signified interest. Some registered as teams, and we counted them as just one because they came together as a team. Quite a number of people came individually and put them together. But we have a couple of people from London, Europe, represented. And of course, where to Botswana, the ecosystem like to hear people come from, Silicon Valley, California, and all that. A couple from in there. We have Kenya, East Africa. I think that's a strong ecosystem resides in Kenya. And of course, we have in Pakistan, in Asia also, we have a couple of teams also who have signified interest. So 500 participants, 72 locations from 5 countries and from 4 continents. And I think at this point, it's a good point to put your hands together for all the people that have signified interest. And in 2.5 weeks, have tried to put in their entries, put in their names, they're responding, forming their teams, and a lot is already happening outside of this invite-only event. But hey, were we expecting to see a skew? I mean, I remember we were creating with our teams and we had some wonderful debates. The MD of GDM is here, the country director of Eco Innovation, and all the other teams. And we kept asking ourselves, 8 focus area. Oh, this is the first time. Should we make it? And we thought we would not get areas where there will be entries. But see the spread. So in consumer experience, we have 13 teams. In media consumption, 5 teams. In consumer recruitment and interaction, 10 teams. In trade and retail engagement, 9 teams. Analytics and metrics, 13 teams. Event marketing, 12 teams. Media monetization, 15 teams. And content creation, 23 teams. Now, for you to register, you signify where you want to be. So it's not us that put them in those things. This was the way in which people registered online and signified their interest of where they wanted to have. And I think this is quite exciting. And so this is the cohort. Who are the people that will help work with these people to make why? And I think throwing these logos up there gives you an idea. And Kyle, thanks for helping me frame this. Gives you an idea of the number of organizations and the number of years of experience we're putting together. 21 mentors who will help to frame it. 13 selection jurors from most of the organizations, most of the FMCGs, tech industry. 30 selection jurors, the best minds, who use and will use these solutions, and who are the ones who are at the forefront, are there. We have 8 speakers who will help us frame the context, and who will help us throw up the tension and the frustration from agency, from client, policymakers are there. We have 6 final jurors, and of course, when you put all of them together, these are all the organizations and agencies coming together to be a part of this first media and marketing hackathon in Nigeria. I'm not sure what has been done in Africa, And I think this is exciting from an organization point of view and a collaboration point of view. So, on this note, I hope I've not bored you, but I think it's an exciting 6 weeks journey that we're looking forward to. And I think let the hack begin. Thank you very much.